in order to make the Seven Sisters safer, they put 70,000 tonnes of rowdy rag, local rock, into the cavern. And of course one of the first jobs they've got is to get that all out of this canal tunnel in the country. This is the 89 tunnel. You can see how functional looking it is. It always reminds me a little bit of an old Star Trek set. Looks like polystyrene and papier-mâché. Blake's, you remember that? Blake's and the geology of the area. And that will bring us up to the time of the Industrial Revolution.
The record.
The creature that was to become the father and mother of all life on earth. Millions of years later, in the Silurian age, the Dudley area was a shallow tropical sea. From that primordial single cell had evolved and were entombed in mud. A steady rain that went on for hundreds, thousands of years.
I was in a cabin underneath Dudley Zoo, and an elephant finished up down here. Sadly it died before they can get it out, but that does give you an indication of the scale of the operation. And there are other stories as well about lions, tigers and bears drinking from the canals down here, but I'm not sure how true they are. The sea that we heard about a few minutes ago to the ones that we have here. By the way, if anybody's been touching the calcite, just make sure you wash your hands before you have anything to eat.
Centres. And by 1850, many of the limestone mines were worked out. The vast caverns left behind became a public attraction, not only for local people, but for learned societies and visiting dignitaries from abroad. The Earl of Dudley, who owned the mines, laid out paths and installed gas flares for illumination, and demonstrations of blasting carried out. Those events were perhaps a forerunner of today's classical spectacular.
Now it looks very much as if this cavern comes to an end about 50 or 60 yards up ahead of us, but in fact, one he'd made earlier, of course, and he stuck it on the wall of the tunnel. Everybody was perfectly happy until they put the water in and found that the badge was about 3 feet below the surface. So a little while later, a group of school children came down and presented the badge that you can see right on the end of the left-hand tunnel wall as we leave.
No tunnel, no focus. But no. Oh, mommy back. Look.
My phone's real.
Back out of the caverns. If you look over there to the right, you can see the black hole, which we came out of about half an hour ago. Back underneath Quarrypin Shaft, so you've got a strap first time. Strange thing about that shaft is that last year we had 3 months solid rain. The area we're going through now, there are 2 theories about this with the additional brickwork. One is that that was put in to reinforce the roof, the walls in here. The other is that it was a stop lock. There were all sorts of arguments when the tunnel was built about water loss, so they put a lock in to try and level out.
Lie down and do it.
Maybe lucky enough to see our resident heron today. We got kingfishers in here and even wild mink. Last year and the year before we had mink in here. Over here you can see the entrance to what was... I talked about fossils earlier on, and you've heard a lot about that on the trip so far. In the show in Tess and down in the Singing Cavern. If you have a look up here as we pull back, you'll see in total here there's something like 650 different types of fossil, many of them dating back over 420 million years. And we got a coral reef.
Back now.
Which seems a little bit strange.
Now, no.
Yes, yeah.
So again, don't forget that this area was submerged under a shallow sea for hundreds of thousands of years, and that would have had a bearing on the way the rock was created.
Minnow? Up. Wow. Back now. What's that?
I know way.
We come out now into Shirts Mill Basin. This was an underground loading wharf. So on the right hand side over here we've got 10 minutes of every working day. And don't forget, these weren't electrically propelled boats, these were manually propelled, which is a very slow, laborious process. It was in here because the tunnel was only wide enough for one boat at a time. And that led to long delays. Boats could be waiting for anything between 2 days and 2 weeks to come through the tunnel. There's lots of fighting between the boatmen because of their frustration, probably. It's another construction shaft. So this now is the Roads tunnel that I mentioned earlier on. It's about 225 yards long. And this was between 1775 and 1778. And it's a continuation of Little Tess Canal, which goes on about a canal boat. They could move stuff around 30 tons at a time, rather than a ton at a time with a horse and cars.
Back now.
They did think about widening this tunnel and putting a tow path in because of the problems of getting boats through here, but it was going to be too big a job.
But down.
What do you mean here?
Man dogs.
You stop when you tell you.
Working boats.
Okay, reasonably safely out. As we come out, if you have a look over the left there, you can see an archway which would have been a limestone mine. Limestone used for agricultural purposes in there. And to the left, behind the wheelbarrow, there is a theory that was where that was the leggers' hovel. That was where the leggers would hang around and take shelter when they were waiting to take boats through. More limestone influences here because all this was lime kilns. And if you go up over this on there, I think there are 3 this year. I think they're taking place on Saturdays. So you get 2 tunnels and an open boat trip, which is, I think, is quite good value. It's a good trip, but you do want a dry day to do that one on. Okay, safely back. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining us on the trip, everybody. If you've got any comments about the trip, then there is a visitor's book in the shop. Like